What is going on, you broke ass Timmies? Welcome back to my channel. This is Strawberry Pokemon. My name is Kira. I apologize for the ring light in my glasses. I get complaints about that sometimes and I'm sorry. I can't see without my glasses, so deal with it. Anyway guys, today's video is a little different than anything I normally talk about here on this channel because today we are diving into the most troubling crowdfunding story I have literally ever heard. And we are talking about Puff Pals Island Skies. If you are not familiar with Puff Pals Island Skies, buckle up because this is going to be very messy. This is a story about how a very charming, cozy game that was very similar to games such as Animal Crossing raised millions of dollars through Kickstarter, only to never be made and leave thousands of backers without any refunds whatsoever. This is one of the most intriguing stories I've heard all year. I can't believe more people aren't talking about this. This is a alleged scam of wild proportions. Quick disclaimer, everything I'm talking about in this video, everything I'm saying in this video are all alleged speculation and opinionated. Don't sue me. To understand everything that went wrong, we need to start at the beginning. In April 2022, a small online business, Fluff Nest, adorable name by the way for a plushie company, that specialized in high-quality adorable plushies, launched a Kickstarter for a video game titled Puff Pals Island Skies, with a modest goal of $75,000. The concept of the game was seemingly very similar to something like Animal Crossing New Horizons. From the clips that were posted on their Kickstarter, we could gather that it was a cozy life simulator where you can do things like farm, befriend puff pals, customize your home, and explore your floating island. You know, the cozy shit we all like to rot away into. To be completely transparent and honest with you guys, I didn't know much about this game until pretty recently, but holy shit does this game look cute as fuck. Everything that is featured in the trailer is everything that I love about cozy video games personally. I am a huge Animal Crossing fan. I have put years of my life probably into playing Animal Crossing games, and nothing really does it for me the way that Animal Crossing does. No other cozy games just do it for me the way Animal Crossing does. And I want there to be, let me make it clear, I want there to be other games that compete with Animal Crossing, but there's really not many for me. The only one that's ever come close is Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life on the GameCube. Specifically that one, and that is it. But look how adorable all this is, guys. Even the vegetables are cute as hell. I personally, had I known about this project, would have 1000% backed this project because I would love nothing more than to support a cozy type game that I love that's Animal Crossing-esque without supporting Nintendo. So absolutely sign me up. I would have been one of the backers 1000% had I known about this. And apparently I'm not the only person with these same feelings, because the Puff Pals Island Sky campaign blew past their original goal of $75,000. The project was fully funded in less than 24 hours and met its first two stretch goals, which were to add gameplays like fishing and a group of sentient fruits and vegetables. I absolutely would have played the fuck out of this game. And they ended up raising over $2.5 million from over 42,000 different backers in only a single week. Absolutely insane. Now obviously, we wouldn't be here if everything had gone smoothly, right? The game never ended up coming to fruition, and the questions we're all asking are how and why. $2.5 million is a substantial amount of money and far surpasses the original goal of $75,000. So surely the creators were set up for success, right? Not so much. I have got an extensive list of notes here about Puff Pals Island Skies because this is literally some of the messiest shit I've ever seen. And I find it all extremely interesting, so let's go ahead and dive into why this did not work out. Looking back, in hindsight, I think people can understand now that there were some bright red flags from the very start, the first one being their original price goal. Now, to compete with a game like Animal Crossing New Horizons, it is going to be quite difficult and quite expensive, and that was essentially what they were trying to do. In my opinion, I know nothing about video game development, video game creation, nothing about it, but I would assume that $75,000 is not enough to make a very high quality game, at least the type that they were trying to make. $1 million, $2 million sounds a lot more correct than $75,000. And I could be wrong, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I would think that to create a game that could, compete with something like Animal Crossing, it would be far more expensive. So asking only $75,000 to create a game like this seems ambitious, to say the least. And since they surpassed the $75,000 goal that they claimed would be enough to, make the game, surpass the goal by quite a lot, we're talking millions of dollars here, we've got expectations a bit higher now from the backers. Because if you're claiming you could have made this game originally just on $75,000, imagine what you can do with $2.5 million. And probably the largest red flag were the multiple communication issues throughout this process. From the creators and owners of Fluff Nest and Puff Pals Island Skies, David and Lily. But honestly guys, looking at their Kickstarter, everything seemed like very legit. I personally would have believed, like many others, that the game was already in production, that it wouldn't take a whole lot for them to really, get this going. And that honestly, it was close to being completed by the, pictures and the videos and clips that David and Lily were posting. The backer tier showed that the game only cost $20, early access only being $30, super affordable prices, in today's standards for video games. I mean, just look how much Mario Kart and Pokemon games are going for right now, like, insane prices. But I suppose that would be another red flag, because the idea that you could buy a video game that competes with one of Nintendo's largest game titles for only a fraction of the price seems too good to be true. And obviously it was. Because everything that they were posting, all the clips, concept art, images, everything they were posting looked extremely legit, looked very trustworthy. It appeared that the game was already in production, somewhat, and just seemed like a safe project to back on Kickstarter. And people backed all right, because nearly every single slot sold out of its available quality, with the exception of the designer tier, which cost a whopping $2,500, which promised you could design your own outfit and Puff Pal pet that would be included in the game, which is pretty cool. But wow, that is crazy that 8 people spent $2,500 backing this game. There were also options to add on exclusive Fluff Nest plushies to your tier purchase to further support the development of the game, which it seems like most backers ended up doing. Anyway, expectations were high, backers were excited, and people really believed in this project. David and Lily encouraged their backers to join their Discord, where they would share updates to the game and other details like concept art and music choices. That was before everything very slowly started to fall apart. Hi guys, Kira from editing here. Before we move away from the Discord stuff, I just wanted to touch on one thing. Apparently, the Discord server was behind some sort of paywall. I don't know if that was for every single channel or if there were just certain channels that were behind a paywall, but I just wanted to point this out because I do feel like it serves as another red flag. The very first setback came on September 22nd, 2023, where Fluff Nest announced the alpha test phase would be delayed by a month, pushing the date back to October 31st of 2023. The alpha test phase was for the qualifying backers who, chose the alpha backing tier, where basically they would be given access to play the alpha form of the game before it was officially released. They'd have a chance to test it out, give their feedback about what could be changed and things of that nature. The reasons that were stated for this delay were basically just for design changes, claiming everything was in progress and going well. Not a big deal, right? I mean, minor delays when, producing a video game are, to be expected in my opinion. And obviously if this was the only setback, I don't think anybody would have ever had a problem with that. Okay, here's where communication begins to falter, because on October 25th, 2023, 1 week before the alpha release date, Fluff Nest made a post addressing the alpha backers, telling them to reach out to receive a key to access the game. This method seemed really disorganized, because if any of the backers didn't see this post, then they likely wouldn't know how to get the key, they probably wouldn't be sent a key, and therefore wouldn't get to play the alpha testing phase, which is what they paid for. They did actually go ahead and release Alpha 1, and collected a bunch of feedback from those who tested the game, and said they were excited to work on improvements for Alpha 2. However, a lot of alpha backers never received the key to go ahead and test the game like they paid to do, and were likely kept in the dark about that and unable to test it at all. A few weeks later, they did release a Alpha 1.1 and Alpha 1.2 patch, but then literally nothing happened between November 15th and February 21st. No updates, no anything between this time frame. It wasn't until February 21st of 2024 that Alpha 1.3 was released. There were a lot of enhancements, bug fixes, lots of exciting updates, and this update would be the last update that we ever received for the Puff Pals Island Skies game. Fluffnest would basically go radio silent after this. Their next update wasn't until August 25th of 2024, where they basically just said, hey, thanks for being patient, we're working on it. They showed some more very basic concept art and like a clip of, you know, a fishing feature. Yikes, that's not really the kind of update you want to receive after 6 months of radio silence. One of the comments under this post was like, finally an update. Hopefully it'll be more frequent. Like, real, some of these people dropped hundreds to thousands of dollars backing this game. The absolute least you can do is post an update like once a month. After this, of course, there's no more updates again until December 12th. It's my birthday, by the way. And this was much less of an update and much more of a cop-out sort of a post from David, one of the owners, saying that they have issues with contracts and team members, and it's delaying the game making process. This is kind of when the backers start questioning things and letting David and Lily know that the communication issues are very worrisome.
Hi, might I make a suggestion to help your team out? Maybe adding in a calendar reminder for a monthly update? Even if it's not much to share in terms of information, as it stands now, you just give off the impression that your team is unorganized and uninterested in your community of supporters. You took our money, and many of us have seen no return on that.
Some people even began asking for a refund at this point. Fluffnest responded with an email that would direct them to customer service or help with refunds. A lot of people had issues receiving their refunds, but not too many people were asking for full refunds at this point. Shortly after all that, Fluffnest announced a Black Friday sale of their plushies. 25% off of all of their plushies, which, guys, were all pretty exclusive. Once they would sell out, they would not restock them, so it was kind of a FOMO thing. However, the Black Friday sale was very shady. Most people never received their Black Friday Fluffnest orders. Most people's orders were never even shipped, and a lot of people noticed that they were being overcharged on the shipping for the plushies. This is when a lot of customers started emailing the Fluffnest email asking for refunds, requesting some kind of help, but very few would ever hear back. And at this point, Fluffnest seems to be extremely fishy. They're losing a lot of trust with their community. Communication is severely lacking. Customers are unable to get in touch with customer support or David and Lily for refunds, and nobody's receiving, you know, shipping information or help with their orders for their plushies or any refunds for anything that they're requesting. So at this point, people have sort of lost trust and are beginning to get quite frustrated with David and Lily and Fluffnest in general. They posted a very lackluster update about Alpha 2 in February 2025. No pictures or cutesy clips anymore, just meaningless words and promises without any evidence of the supposed work that's being done on the game, but they did claim that the alpha testers will be able to play Alpha 2 in 6 to 8 weeks. Well, people pretty much lost hope at this point. A Reddit thread was started about how nobody was receiving their refunds from Puff Pals Island Skies or Fluffnest. Fluffnest was trying to calm this down by continuing to promise that Alpha 2 would be released on time, and then they went and had the balls to put their plushies on clearance and have some sort of plushie clearance sale, while those who ordered the Black Friday sale from November still never received their plushies or their refunds. And as you can probably assume, most people didn't receive their clearance plush sales either.
It's also worth noting that they opened a pre-order around the same time for a new plush that, yeah, you guessed it, nobody ever ended up receiving.
Shocking, I know. The track record is not good. Well, as if it couldn't get any worse, on May 1st, 2025, it came to light that Fluffnest was going out of business immediately. Fluffnest released a statement claiming that Puff Pals Island Skies would not be affected by the plushie business going under, and that the main reason that the plushie business was going under was due to rising shipping costs. But then, only a few weeks later, after promising that Puff Pals Island Skies would not be affected by the closure of their Fluffnest plush business, Fluffnest posted this. Hello everyone, the development of Island Skies has been incredibly challenging to say the least. For the past few years, we were under an NDA with third-party studio and couldn't discuss many of the things happening behind closed doors. However, Now that the other parties have made some of that information public, we can speak more openly about what happened. After the Kickstarter, Fluff Nest entered into a milestone agreement with Room 8 Studio to develop the features necessary to deliver early access, based on the GDD we created for the campaign. The agreement was for $1.1 million over the course of 1 year. This would leave around $500,000 of wiggle room, as approximately $1 million from the Kickstarter went to taxes, fees, campaign expenses, and the production of physical goods. As we approached finalizing the new agreement, it became clear that Room 8's senior management does not have a clear understanding of the project's current state or how much work remains. Because of this, we can't trust that the issues we've already faced won't reoccur. We've informed Room 8 that we won't proceed unless their leadership presents a plan that directly addresses these issues and commits the necessary resources to Island Skies. In the meantime, we've continued working on the game ourselves. Based on our experience, we don't currently trust Room 8 to deliver a version of Island Skies that meets our standards. Looking ahead, despite everything, we are continuing to push toward Alpha 2. We remain fully committed to delivering the game we promised. While we can't yet provide a date, our focus is on development, quality, and our own well-being. We'll share another update as soon as we have a firm release date for Alpha 2. Thank you for your patience and support during these turbulent times. With love, Fluff Nest. Yikes. Wow. I mean, this is a huge issue. We've got $2.5 million just gone, poof. No game, no plushies, and over 42,000 backers that aren't receiving a game, refunds, or any type of customer support. Well, this is where shit hits the fan. Rightfully upset, backers would flock to the Puff Pals Discord to express their concerns and to look for answers, because what the fuck? Only to be blocked by Lily, you know, one of the owners and the artist behind all of this, for simply asking questions and eventually resulting in the entire general chat being deleted. There were also some really disturbing voice messages that came out of this Discord chat. I'm gonna play one for you right now. This is allegedly Lily sending this in the Discord chat, threatening to ban people if they call her fake or something.
Hello. Call me fake one more time, I'll ban you, bitch!
Shortly after the mass blocking and deleting, the Fluff Nest email that was being used for customer support and refunds would become inactive and unable to be reached. So what happened to David and Lily? They literally took $2.5 million from people, so what is to happen to them? Well, Room 8, the studio that was contracted to produce Puff Pals Island Skies, reportedly sued Fluff Nest for non-payment of $1.9 million in development work. They are also in a ton of other lawsuits, including a lawsuit from Blade Funding for almost $100,000, a lawsuit with American Express for unpaid loans of totaling $50,000. They never paid their former concept artist, so they're suing them for $11,000, and they have over $20,000 of unpaid taxes. Holy shit. They're just fucked. I don't even know, how do you even come back from this? Do you come back from something like this? This is crazy. Where does this leave Puff Pals Island Skies? Well, there have been no public updates made about the development of the game since that last post made by David on May 21st, 2025. The game is still labeled as an alpha version, with no full release in sight, as the project seems to have been stalled, and the brand in complete disarray. This is an absolutely crazy story. I can't believe more people aren't talking about this. I truly do hope that the backers are able to eventually get their money back, because no way in hell should these people get away with just taking everyone's money and shutting down their businesses and shit. It's just crazy. Pretty disappointing, because I mean, personally, I would have absolutely loved this game. I would have loved to try and play this game. I would absolutely love to have a game similar to Animal Crossing that, you know, is just cozy and cute and fun and adorable like this. I really hope Room 8 is able to like finish this game and make it somewhat decent quality. I don't even know if that's a possibility. I don't know if they like own the rights to it and things like that. I don't know how that works, but it would be really cool if they could finish it off. I think a lot of us would go ahead and buy that game. I know I would buy it just to see, you know, what it's like at this point. If you had any experiences with Puff Pals Island Skies, if you were a backer, if you were in the Discord, let us know in the comments below. I would really like to chat with some of y'all and just get your perspective and your experience from all of this. I am truly sorry to all of the backers and the people who are were excited for this game. I think that this is super fucked up, and it's really just a shame. The whole thing is a shame because it looked legit to me too. I wouldn't have thought that they would do something like this, and I don't know how the fuck you fumbled $2.5 million. They should have at least released the alpha version to everybody, just as some sort of condolence. I don't know if that's possible or not. I don't know how any of that works. Again, I'm not a video game developer, but you'd think they'd at least let people play the test version, right? Anyway, guys, crazy story. If we ever do get a real Puff Pals Island Skies game, I will be reviewing it here on this channel. I'm going to link below a video that was much more detailed than mine. They go into a little bit more details about the lawsuits and things like that happening. If you guys are interested in that, check out that video that's in my link below. Their video was like super well done, so go check them out. And thank you guys so much for watching this video today. If you guys want to see more videos like this from me, go ahead and be sure to hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every couple of days, and I will see you guys in my next video. Don't be buying any Fluff Nest plushies out there, y'all. Bye!